A long time ago, but not so long ago that this was the height of big-budget CGI, the guy who gave us not one, but two of the Chris's reawakened the other larger-than-space multiple-decade sci-fi epic. He dared to write and direct for a fandom already so impossible to please that the guy who started it all was over it. When they saw his version, some people said, and then the guy who did Looper jumped in for the second movie, rewrote everything, and... But this December, J.J. Abrams brings it all home with Star Wars Episode 9 to satiate his true believers, to win over the detractors, and to enrage fanboys who won't be happy so long as women are allowed to be anything other than sexy sidekicks in these movies. What's it going to look like? No one on the outside knows for sure, but thanks to leaks, theories, and plenty of clues, we've still got plenty to go on. Welcome back to The Binger, and thanks for joining us as we examine Star Wars Episode 9 theories that might be true ranked from likely to definitely. Last summer, the internet briefly exploded with reports that Matt Smith had been cast in the third chapter. Smith has had an illustrious career leading Doctor Who, The Crown, and an upcoming Robert Mapplethorpe biopic. Fans jumped at the idea that he'd be playing a younger version of everyone's favorite sociopath, Darth Sidious himself, Emperor Palpatine, or Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, or younger still, Senator Palpatine. Anyway, according to the comic-based Star Wars Legends Expanded Universe series, Sheev Palpatine was born into wealth and privilege. While quiet and intelligent, he was cunning, ambitious, and unempathetic from an early age. Basically Tom Riddle minus talking to snakes. Eventually, he became the progeny of the mythical Darth Plagueis the Wise, who he later killed. The movies are canonically separate from the comics. However, many fans have hoped that ideas for the two's dark history would finally be adapted on screen through flashbacks. Sadly, when asked about appearing in the movie though, Smith said, "As far as I can tell, I'm definitely not." Since The Force Awakens, parallels between the new installments and the original trilogy have been drawn. The first movie introduces a Chosen One, set up to destroy an oppressive regime with the help of a band of rebels. The second movie has the protagonist master their powers and explore moral dilemmas. There's a lot of fan service, and opinions are, well, mixed. In the original trilogy, some time is assumed to have passed between The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Luke ups his Jedi game, Leia plans how to save Han, Death Star 2.0 goes into production, and we drop back into the action. A lot of fans will think that a similar time jump will occur in Star Wars Episode 9. The Last Jedi saw Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, turn on his master and presumably take over the First Order. In the ancient tradition of survival of the Sithist, he can now do what he assumes his grandfather/idol Darth Vader would have done: start fresh and take over the galaxy. But don't forget that this was Anakin Skywalker's original plan before he was KO'd by Obi-Wan. Star Wars Episode 9 might change up the formula by focusing on what the galaxy becomes like with the conflicted bad guy at the helm. The good news is that this could definitely make Kylo's inevitable redemption arc way more interesting. No one's entirely satisfied with the explanations about Rey's background that have been revealed so far. Many fans have concluded that the answer to the dangling parents question is that there are no parents. The theory goes that Emperor Palpatine, the puppet master behind the Clone War, created another clone, Rey, perhaps with a DNA sample taken from an unknowing Anakin, or maybe even Luke's severed hand. Wait, where have I seen that before? Oh yeah. The plotline has happened many times throughout comics and the rest of the sci-fi world. One of the closest and most famous examples would be Superboy, the Superman clone created to be an ultimate secret weapon. In the case of Rey, the idea does fill in some pretty big blanks. Why does the cave show her endless replications of herself? Why the intense psychic link between her and Kylo, also a Skywalker by blood? Oh, and speaking of him, the clone explanation kind of backs up the one that he leads her to in The Last Jedi, that her parents are no one, that she was tossed aside by her caregivers, and they had no reason to take care of her anymore.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
Yeah, we get it. Semantics are everything in a galaxy far, far away. Many fans, including myself, have pointed out that it's unfair to leave a guy as good-looking as Oscar Isaacs at the singles table. His buddy Finn has had his share of romantic challenges, having developed an immediate crush on Rey, not to mention finding out that Rose has the hots for him. Following The Force Awakens, fans were even shipping Poe and Finn as Star Wars' next couple. Pin? Whatever. While the cast and writers seemed to be open to the idea at the time, by this point we're already 2 movies in, and last-minute grabs at appearing diverse never look great. Remember the 2 seconds of Sulu and his husband in Star Trek Beyond? They were a day late and $1 short. or a galactic credit short. Anyway, instead, some sites are set on a newcomer becoming Poe's love interest. Actress Naomi Ackie has been rumored to have been cast as a new female lead referred to as Caro. Thanks to Instagram, she may have been spotted filming alongside the Resistance last summer. Gotta admit, it'd be nice to see Poe focused on something other than escaping a life or death situation for once. There's one important member of the original gang that we haven't seen so far. The guy you just can't stay mad at, Lando Calrissian. While we were kept on our toes for a while, the good news finally came that Billy D. Williams will reprise his iconic role. The question is, in what capacity? Last fall, the 81-year-old actor revealed over Instagram that he was hitting up the gym. That's led many to think that Lando's role in Star Wars Episode 9 will be more than a quick cameo. Rather, he'll be leading the fight to end the First Order, like he led the assault fleet against the second Death Star. It's uncertain if Lando and Leia will have a farewell moment in any of Carrie Fisher's finished scenes. It's almost more likely that he'd appear alongside Maz Kanata. Both are former smugglers, master deceivers, and formidable opponents in battle. It's kind of the dream buddy cop situation. The new Star Wars trilogy has taken us to some amazing new worlds with a kick of nostalgia. Jakku had Tatooine vibes, and Takodana was reminiscent of Endor. It reminds us, the viewers, that we're back in the universe we love. But some reports suggest that Star Wars Episode 9 will take us to a planet we've been before, or rather, a moon. Yavin 4 is remembered as the home of the rebel base from A New Hope that Darth Vader and Governor Tarkin spent the movie searching for. It narrowly avoided destruction by the Death Star thanks to Han, Luke, and some well-aimed torpedoes. Now it looks like former Royal Air Force hangar Cardington Sheds, which was Yavin 4's filming location, is being used again. The crew was said to be shooting there in January. The location was also used in Rogue One, again as the Rebel headquarters. Since Poe is from this world, it's a legacy location for the Resistance. A return seems fitting. It could be great to see the last great space battle go down where the one that started it all took place. A lot of controversies came from the sudden death of Leader Snoke in The Last Jedi. Some felt it potentially set up a more interesting bad guy reveal later on. Others felt it was part of a bigger problem with the movie's overemphasis on subverting expectations for no reason. What pretty much everyone agrees on is that Snoke will show up again, if only that we at least kind of know what his deal was, or is. Who knows? A few theories have gone around. One suggests that he'll emerge in an ethereal form like Yoda and Obi-Wan. Another is that he was just a psychological manifestation of Kylo's inner torment all along. Yeesh. Imagine telling Han and Leia that their negligence led to their kid conjuring his own Tyler Durden and conquering the galaxy. The most plausible theory might be the flashback route. There's still relatively little known about how Ben Solo grew up, was introduced to the Knights of Ren, or fell to the dark side. If there was darkness in him, as Luke sensed, how did Snoke plant those seeds? Assuming, of course, that it was him. Standard plot hole errors aside, at this point in the story, these are the main things we need to be tied together. No one didn't crack a smile when Frank Oz reprised his role as Yoda in The Last Jedi. Luke's former master returned to offer the crusty aging Jedi some guidance and inspiration in a dark hour. It was a touching moment since, like Luke, Yoda lost a whole generation of young Jedi to an attack. It's been reported that Yoda will return once again and will share scenes with Rey, although they haven't met yet. As the would-be oldest generation meets the youngest resolution, it seems pretty likely to go down. Yoda already knows who she is, and Rey, through her time with Luke, probably knows who he is too. At this point, we know that Rey is the lone Jedi with Luke gone, and The Last Jedi foreshadowed a generation of children that she could potentially train. So communing with Yoda may be how she prepares for the fight ahead, and ascertains what it means to be a Jedi Master. Remember, Obi-Wan was said to have contacted Qui-Gon for years after Revenge of the Sith, so seeking the counsel of Jedi who have faded away isn't by any means uncommon. Earlier this month, Mark Hamill tweeted, quote, "People keep asking me over and over and over again, when will they release the Episode 9 trailer? A, I don't know. B, until they do, just be satisfied with this exclusive look at my own personal Star Wars trailer." Does this mean he'll get his sense of humor back as a ghost? Yoda seemed pretty zen anyway. Nothing's been confirmed about Luke's role or whether he'll return to guide Rey the same way Obi-Wan returned to guide him. However, Hamill has implied that his role would likely be minimal. The actor had signed on for one full movie, but it sounds like he was coaxed into making one final appearance at the last moment. The character did also say, "See you around, kid," to his nephew/nemesis Kylo Ren before disappearing at the end of Last Jedi. So it's likely that the two will have some kind of conclusive interaction together in the last chapters of the trilogy. There have been two big questions facing J.J. Abrams. One, will this really be the end of the Skywalker story? And two, is this really the ending he envisioned from the beginning? Everything points to yes on both accounts. Earlier this month, Oscar Isaac reported that Star Wars Episode 9 would wrap up the Skywalker saga for good. He referred to it as a culmination of 9 stories, beautifully brought together in a way that will resonate with fans everywhere. Meanwhile, J.J. Abrams was asked if the mixed responses to Last Jedi would impact his direction for the 9th installment last month. The director stated, "No, I think that every movie is its own movie, and obviously this is a trilogy. We brought to Episode 9 all the passion and hard work that we would have no matter what, so I think the story speaks for itself. I really, truly can't wait for you to see it." So even if there are some story changes for continuity purposes, it sounds like Abrams' original premise is what will happen. The thought of the Skywalker saga finally ending is definitely somber, but it sounds like a spectacular send-off that does the family justice as what lies ahead. It's a long wait until next December, but at least between now and then, we've got a title and trailers that have yet to be revealed. What do you think? Which theories do you think are coming true, and which ones are all wrong? Do what you do best and let us know in the comments. Before you go, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing on your favorite movies and TV shows. Until next time guys, thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next video.